TV, and to have it withdrawn because of an asshole like Donald Trump is absolutely injustice. And I'm sure there's a lot of feminists who would disagree, and or feminists who would agree, and women's rights leaders who would disagree that this pageant means anything. But I still think it does, in a sense that it's a tradition, and should not have been withdrawn just because of a dickhead like Donald Trump. Well, it's not withdrawn. I'm sure it will still go on. Be televised by maybe TBS or something. I don't know. If Univision dropped it, at this point, I'm looking for it to be on the internet somewhere, maybe on some channel that you get if you have a satellite dish that covers all million channels that are on TV. Otherwise, probably not. And that's where we're going to go with this. Here we go. I'm going to go back one more time to the top story of the day, and then we'll get into some more lighter fun with music and movie quotes like we usually do. Shooting at a pair of military facilities, Chattanooga, Tennessee. This is the story as it broke. Apparently, one recruiting station was just fired upon from a car, but the other one was more hand-to-hand attack. And in July 13th post, Abdulaziz, I can't pronounce this. I'll try. Abdul Aziz wrote that life is short and bitter, and that Muslims should not let the opportunity to submit to Allah pass you by. The website, oh shoot, I love that. I had it and then I don't have it. Okay, the website said in an email sent to subscribers. This is, I guess, we're describing the shooter here. He also stressed the sacrifice of the Sahaba, companions of the Prophet, with mention that every one of them fought jihad for the sake of Allah. Every one of them had to make sacrifices in their lives, and some even left all their wealth to make hurrah to Medina, he wrote, according to the site. So this is a very, very recent statement here. I'm imagining 2 hours ago. So they're piecing together. Basically, sounds like definitely does sound like a foreign-related terrorist act by someone who was influenced apparently by the internet. Abdul Wazir is the gentleman here who is the perpetrator who killed himself. Showing a picture of him here. Looks definitely of Muslim descent here. And they're showing several weapons were recovered at the second scene. The second scene, I'm imagining, is where the 4 Marines and the 1 police officer were killed. So, as I said, this is a breaking story. And I don't want to pass judgment without all the facts in. But the facts are pointing toward, unfortunately, a foreign terrorist act, where we had the gentleman in this church here recently is pointed toward an American act. And again, like I said, American, foreign, international, or domestic. Here is terrorism and guns being used to kill. Whereas you can certainly make the argument that even without guns, it would just be bombs or knives or whatever it would take. The final argument I'm going to give here on the gun control issue, because that is the argument you'll hear eventually at all times whenever you bring it up to any Republican or anyone who's an NRA net, or not even NRA net, just a Second Amendment fan, that guns don't kill people. People kill people. The problem I've always had with that is, yes, that's true, but a coward usually is better situated to use a gun to carry out evil things, whereas only a hero would risk his own life to kill others. And with a gun, you don't risk your own life. If you're here's James Holmes with a bulletproof jacket walking through a theater, he was a coward using a gun. And without a gun, he had been nothing. He would have not had the guts to have done anything to this theater. He wouldn't have been able to plant a bomb. It would have been something that would have been found out, and I'm surely would not have worked. So, as I said, guns don't kill people, but guns make cowards stronger. Whereas without guns, would be weak. So, food for thought indeed. Patriots Liberal Party is on the air.
So, I mean, what's it like being old? It's gotta be weird, right? I mean, you saw a lot of stuff go down. World War I, World War II, the automobile, Tupac. I mean...
I once gave Charlie Chaplin a hand job.
No way! Was he silent?
Not after I was done with him.
Looking out a dirty old window, down below the cars in the city go rushing by. I sit here alone and I wonder why. Friday night and everyone's moving. I can feel the heat, but it's soothing, heading down. I search for the beat in this dirty town. Downtown, the young ones are going. Downtown, the young ones are growing. We're the kids in America. Whoa. We're the kids in America. Whoa. Everybody lives for the music around. Bright lights and music gets faster. Look, boy, don't check on your watch, not another glance. I'm not leaving now, honey, not a chance. Hot shot, give me no problems. Much later, baby, you'll be saying never mind. You know life is cruel, life is never kind. Times will make a new story. Time has no gravity glory. We're the kids in America. We're the kids in America. Everybody lives for the music around. Come closer, honey, that's better. Got to get a brand new experience, feeling right. Oh, don't try to stop, baby, hold me tight. Outside a new day is dawning. Outside suburbia is sprawling everywhere. I don't want to go, baby. New York to East California. There's a new wave coming, I warn ya. We're the kids in America. We're the kids in America. Everybody lives for the music around.
Here's some quick hits. I'm going to call this quick hits. There's a lot of news that goes over the line over the course of the week, and I can't cover them all like I'd like to. So here you go. James Holmes gets the death penalty. Caitlin Jennings should be allowed to live. Pete Rose deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. The Iran nuclear agreement may not be the best of all worlds, but belays the worst of all worlds. And finally, Donald Trump should just shut the fuck up. Those are the quick hits, as I see them for the week of July 16, 2015.
The pen is truly mightier than the sword.
On other news fronts of the PLP Liberal Party podcast, as I fast approach, amazingly enough, fast approach the first year anniversary of this podcast. That's hard to believe. September, sometime the second week of September, this all started. We're in our 9th month. We're working toward our 10th. And I hope I've made great strides from the original programs. Some no longer available, by the way, because I had to make storage room. That's okay, because it's just dated material. You have to listen to the show within at least a month or so if it's released. Otherwise, it's dated material anyway, so that's not a big loss there. But of course, I'm going to have a 1-year anniversary show, and I need to unveil a new weapon in my arsenal. And I just recently chatted on Facebook with my friend Evan White. He was the co-founder of the Patriots Watchtower movement, the ill-fated Wix site, which you may still be able to access, but these stories in there are very old because it's not been updated because we haven't been able to fix the glitches on it. Well, it turns out he's now, I'm not going to call him the founder, because the party existed before. He's now he's refounding the Federalist Party. If you follow the Federalist Party and you're intelligent like me, I'm an idiot. I was an idiot. I got concerned because the words republicanism were involved with the Federalist Party, and I had to reboot for a second and say, oh, wait a minute. I think we all have some, unlike Sarah Palin, sense of history to realize that the Democratic Party, originally the Democratic Party's ideas began as the Republican Party, and then the two sides basically flip-flopped, much like John Kerry. It was flip-flop, and suddenly the Republicans were in favor of the Democratic ideas, and Democrats were in favor of the old Republican ideas, the old Republican ideas being now what we call liberal. So, he's refounding the Federalist Party. As I mentioned before, he hasn't given me any clue on whether or not they're going to have their own candidate. As I said, my party's not going to have its own candidate. We're not idiots. We founded ourselves less than 4 months ago, and the elections in less than, believe it or not, the election's less than a year and 4 months away. So we're not going to have time or the backing yet to do that. So I'm hoping that maybe he's going to be in the same situation with his party and have no choice but to nominate a candidate who is running under another party. And I'm trying to convince him that Bernie Sanders should be that candidate, even though myself I haven't completely made up my mind. Anyways, what we discussed? We're discussing unveiling new weaponry in my podcast. I'm going to find out how, and I'm sure there's a way. I'd really love to do a live interview. I've actually been, believe it or not, a Republican podcast is currently one of my followers, and he wants to do a interview where we broadcast it on both our podcast, and hasn't gotten back to me on that, so I'm not sure if that was just bullshitting or what it was. Why he's following a liberal podcast. Well, he's probably listened to me enough to know that, it's important to listen to all sides of the equation in order to come up with the solution. So I can't really get upset with him for following me. I'm following him now. Listen to one of his podcasts. Very professional. He's got his own advertisements, for Christ's sake. This guy's a regular radio show. I wish I could get to that point. But what I want to at least get to a point is where I'm not the only one talking on this